Hey folks, how's it going? Back with yet another project here. This is another Nurgle project too, but I'm kind of enjoying working on Nurgle stuff just now, so I'm just going to roll with it. There's a whole bunch you can do in terms of the conversion, and I just really like the style and the grossness of it, and the old banged up kind of style of them, so I'm just going with it and working on this piece here. This started out as, I think it's a Reaper miniature, Reaper Ogre or Troll. I'll shift this over here and put a picture up of how it looked before I started the conversion work. I had started painting this thing up and I was away to go ahead and finish painting it, but just kind of thought that it looked way too basic, and kind of saw a lot of opportunity for doing conversions and stuff like that on it. And I just wanted to do something to fit in with the rest of the Nurgle bits and pieces that I've got going on. So it was a good chance to work on some conversions, so I'll just talk you through some stuff as I'm going along here. It's still very much a work in progress. There's still a load of stuff to do on here, but I just wanted to show you what I've done so far just before it all starts to look, too confusing and there's too much to talk about at once. So starting from the bottom, I started to drill in just little holes with, this is a metal miniature, but I just drilled some holes in the surface with a burr drill bit, and then added some green stuff around it to make the skin look raised, like it burst open, and all these open sores and stuff like that. So I added some boils and things around here on the back there as well. There's still some of these areas that I've drilled in that I've still to add some detail and texture around. I've up on the shoulder here, I've added some branding. I'm going to do a bit more of that, add some like Nurgle branding sort of icons and things like that in there. Some more of the open wound and boils up on the arms here. Down on this hand, this was just originally like a gauntlet bracer type thing. But I've added some pieces of sprue. This middle one is actually a sword from the Plaguebearers of Nurgle kit, and I just cut that to shape and fitted it in on his hand there, and shaved down, like whittled down a couple pieces of sprue to make them look similar in style, and put those on there as well, and then added a couple of little pieces of wire and these little metal like studs that you see on top there to make those look like rivets holding these things in. So I've ended up making like a big claw type thing on his hand, which I think looks pretty cool. It's kind of unique as well, which I'm pleased about. So I've done that there. Moving up to the head here, I've added a beard first of all, because I thought it gave him a little bit more character. So I added the beard and green stuff there. These horns are actually I think the corner pieces off of I think it was a Bloodthirsters of Khorne box set that I got ages ago that I didn't do anything with, so I'm just kind of scavenging parts from it, and cut the edges off of the standard, the branches, I guess, that held the standard on that. I cut those off, and they make for pretty cool looking horns. One of them here has got a little skull hanging on there as well, so that's some more detail. Moving up to the neck and shoulder area, I sculpted some hair on the back there, and I think I'm gonna do something else with the hair. I don't know, maybe give him some kind of like mohawk thing going on, or like a ponytail. I'm not entirely sure, because I'm not happy with the way that looks at the moment. But down on the neck, I just added some texture and blended the head in and things. So that is all just textured in there. I'll probably add a couple of boils and things like that onto there too. The shoulders here, I just added some green stuff to make it look like hammered textured metal. Just these big shoulder pad type things. Coming from there are these kind of supports. The idea is that he's like a kind of, I guess, a slave type character. He's just got this huge back brace thing on with this big platform coming up, and there'll be some kind of like commander type character will set up in here. Gets a good view of the battlefield and stuff, and he just stomps around with this dude up on his back. But the supports themselves, these front two anyway, are made with, I had a box set of like street parts, I guess, for terrain. These were actually lampposts that I've put on there. I cut the lamp part off the top here, so there's just these flat surfaces up top now that I'll probably add something onto, I don't know, little spikes or some skulls or something along those lines. So I've got those two lamppost type pieces at the front. Moving around the back, I went in and added some shoulder strap type bits. I'll just get something to point out what I'm talking about. These white pieces are just pieces of plastic card. Just cut those to size and put those on there, and added just a little piece of metal wire across the top there to hide the joint, to make it look like this is actually attached on there. So these come down to this section here, which is just green stuff around the base of this. This is actually a lollipop stick, like a popsicle stick. They come on these plastic tube handles, so I save all of those. I just usually crack all the candy parts off and just use the plastic tubes. You can buy them in big bags, so it's a fairly cheap way of getting some nice plastic tubing. So that's just one of those. Some green stuff around the bottom there to kind of connect it onto the belt here, and a couple of little bits I think were left over from some kind of symbol standard type thing I had just in my bits box. So I cut that in half and put them on either side, just again to hide the join of this piece of plastic card here. And I'll probably add some more detail and work like studs or something in here just to make it look like it's all joined together. I'm thinking of making, because at the moment he's got like this kind of leather belt around the front, but I might just change that to make those look like thick metal straps, just because realistically with all this weight up the top here, the leather probably wouldn't hold too well, and this thing would be shifting around. So I might change it to just like a full like metal brace type thing that's just over the whole of his torso there. So I'll probably add on to that. So yeah, coming up the top here, I've just added three plastic card sections, I guess, to make this kind of platform structure. And then added, again, this was in the whole street terrain bits and pieces. There was like a cartwheel type thing in there, so I've just added some strips underneath there, kind of wooden strips from the same set, to make it look like a platform with the metal. It'll be like a metal wagon wheel as the base type thing there. And then just took a whole bunch of pieces of plastic card and kind of textured them up, and I'm going to make it look like this is all bolted or riveted together to make this kind of stand up the top here, just to give a bit of armour around it, I guess, something along those lines. Still some bits to add to there. I might add like a wooden kind of backdrop to this thing. And then this here going up is it's going to be a standard hanging up there, so it ends up being quite a really kind of tall piece, probably about the height of my hand. But I'm going to add a cool standard hanging down the back here, just as again a further backdrop to the character that's eventually going to stand or sit in here. My plan is to not have anything fixed in the top here. Luckily it works out quite well that this area up top here is big enough to take a GW base. Just pop that in there to show you. So I can probably just leave that empty and make a couple of different inserts for the top. I might make like some big kind of fat leader dude just kind of sitting down like he's lazy, gets taken everywhere by this guy. So he might be sitting on a throne type thing or something up here, and commanding the battlefield from this kind of taller perspective. That's just one idea, and then obviously you can take that out and I can switch it in for different characters or something like that. On the back here, I've also taken this. It's actually, I think it's from the Plague Bearers kit. This was part of a standard or something. I've just cut that off from the rest. I think there was something up the top here, and put these 2 pins through this top section, and this is actually going to fit in. I've drilled a couple holes in the belt on the dude, so that's going to fit in the back there like that. So this is like a, you know, a kind of hanging off the bottom of this whole support thing, just as a bit of detail for the bottom there, and it'll actually come out at an angle, so it'll, you know, look like there's some movement in there as well from this guy kind of lunging forward across the field or whatever. And this will be kind of probably in like that, just tilted to, you know, add some movement, and just to do a bit more with the bottom of the back area here. Last thing that I've done to this, I've made this weapon. It originally came with just a kind of plain wooden handle and like a double-headed battle axe, but this I've taken I've kind of filed it down and all this sort of stuff, and then wrapped really fine wire around it just to make like a grip on this thing. I took another lollipop or popsicle stick and carved it up to make it look like wood, so that's going up there. The head of this thing, this is like a kind of mace axe spiked type thing. I'm not entirely sure, it's just a kind of unique weapon idea that I came up with, I guess. But this is actually metal sheet. I used to be a jeweler, so I've got a bunch of little bits of metal sheet and stuff lying around. I think this was like a brass plated something. But anyway, I just took 2 pieces of that and riveted it together at the point there, and then the ends kind of split and go around, you know, at the top here and the bottom. And just took some of that fine wire and made like a wrap type thing around there. And then right at the top here, this is a spare head from one of the plague bearers of Nurgle. I've just cut that up and shaped it, and then added some detailing on the back to make it fit in. So I'll paint all this up to look like metal, you know, so it's one solid cast piece of metal or something like that, and then just it's fitted onto this kind of mace battle axe type thing. The idea would be that you could spin it round and then have this big claw type hammer thing, I guess, going on. The plan is to cut the base off as well. I've started doing that, but it's going to take a little while to get through with just a little hacksaw type thing. And put it on one of these bases. Just I don't like the uneven kind of shape of the base, and with it's quite tippy as well on the base it's currently on. So I'm going to cut all that off, all the excess off, and then just put it on one of these standard kind of, you know, round lipped bases, just to tie in with the rest of my collection that I'll be building up to. So there you go, kind of long-winded look at this thing, but there's a whole bunch of stuff going on with it. So as I say, just wanted to get to it before I move too far ahead. But I'll try and do a video, update video, as soon as I do make some progress on this thing. So until then, cheers for watching, and I will catch you all later. Bye.